This is the biggest lens I've ever had my hands on, and it's most definitely the heaviest, weighing in at 1.3 kilograms or just below 3 pounds. This is a full metal lens that uses the Canon FD lens mount system, commonly found on their vintage line of lenses. Having an f-stop as low as 5.6 for a 400mm lens is the feature that truly sets this lens apart from most other super focal length lenses. The only modern Canon lenses that can achieve this combination are the L series of super zooms and primes, which can retail over £1,000. Granted, they have features such as image stabilization and autofocus, which are essential for lenses of this type, but for someone who can't afford the wonders of a great white that is the Canon L series zoom, this lens right here is a great substitute for the price. And now for the part of the video where I explain the pros and cons of the lens. Pro number 1, rock solid construction. I know I seem to go on and on about the build quality of these older lenses, but it's difficult not to notice. Vintage lenses always seem to trump modern lenses for build quality. They're always made of metal, have smooth, fluid focus and zoom ring actions, and you can get them for amazing deals online. Pro number 2, built-in lens hood. We've all had some issues with lens hood at some time or another, whether trying to fit them into a camera bag or deciding whether or not you will need it on a particular shoot. With this lens, the problem is solved as the lens hood is built around the barrel. Supported by a layer of felt, it simply slides out as needed and tightens the further it is extended. The hood itself is made of the same solid metal as the rest of the lens and makes a pretty good bulletproof shield for the front element. Pro number 3, adaptability. Being an older lens made for 35mm SLR film cameras makes this lens very adaptable to most cameras. Adapters converting the Canon FD mount are commonplace, especially for the smaller format micro 4/3 cameras, such as the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. And now for the cons. Con number 1, soft image quality and colour fringing. A common problem with old glass is softness of the image, making focusing difficult and time consuming. Colour fringing is also noticeable around edges, but can easily be reduced with colour correction and grading. Not much else to say about this. Like lenses these days, the quality of the glass depends on the amount you spend on it. Con number 2. Dust and dirt within the lens body. Another common issue with buying lenses that have been around longer than a pickle jar in a pub, this lens does have small traces of dust and what may be the first signs of fungus buildup within the two front elements. Even though it doesn't affect the image at all and is only noticeable when looking down the barrel in bright light, this is still a problem I would rather not have. This is the part where I normally talk about the hit or miss features, but I don't really have any to talk about with this lens. I suppose the soft image with the lens can be used stylistically, a dream or memory sequence maybe, but other than that, it is what it is. So that was my review of the Vivitar 400mm f5.6. Would I recommend this lens to anyone? No. Or rather, would I recommend this type of lens to anyone? Having a 400mm zoom lens can be a really useful thing, even more so when it has a fast aperture. A 400mm prime, however, is a different matter. This sort of lens is far too specialised to be used for a lot of applications, and at the same time too ill-equipped for the purpose that best suits it. The most likely type of person who would be interested in this lens would be a nature photographer or videographer for bird watching and wildlife documenting. Unfortunately, these applications require both autofocus and image stabilization, or at least the option for them. So unfortunately, this lens I can't recommend for the modern market. However, one thing I can recommend most definitely is buying vintage lenses. The amount of deals you will find on lenses will blow your mind. For instance, why bother getting the Canon 50mm 1.8 for £80 when you can get an FD mount 50mm 1.4 for the same price? Food for thought. I'm Dan from Daniel Norris Effects, and I will see you in the next video.